Hi friends, I'm a Renaissance Mama and today we're going to learn how to crochet. So the first things you're going to need are a ball of yarn. I'm using a cotton yarn. We're going to start off by making a washcloth. You're going to learn multiple simple stitches that you'll use every time that you crochet, or variations of every time you crochet. So you're going to need a hook. I'm using an I hook or a 5.5 hook, and I'm using some cotton yarn. And I'm going to make a washcloth, and that way I can show you all the stitches fairly quickly, and these stitches are used for scarves and sweaters and hats and everything. So as long as you learn these first basic stitches, you'll be able to do pretty much anything you want. So the first thing you want to do is you want to tie a knot with a loop at the end of your yarn, and you're going to put it through the hook like this. So the first thing that you're going to do in almost every pattern is you're going to create what's called a chain stitch. So I'm going to unravel some of my yarn, and I am right-handed, so I'm showing you how I would hold it as a right-handed person. I would imagine if you were left-handed, if you just flip the image, that it would be the same. So I hold the hook in my right hand, and this is what I call the tail, that little extra piece of yarn, or as we go along and the item that you crochet gets bigger, then that part will be held away from what you're working on. So the first thing we're going to do is a chain stitch. Chain stitch is super easy. You're going to go around the back of the hook, and then I'm holding the yarn in between my two fingers, and I switch the tail to my left hand. Now I twist, and the hook is down towards the table, and I pull it through the loop, and now I have done one chain stitch. So we're going to do a total of 15 of these. So that was one, around, switch, turn, pull through, that's two, around, turn, and switch, pull through, that's three, around, switch, turn, pull through, whoops, there you go, that's four, around, switch your hands, twist your hook so the hook catches the yarn, pull through the loop, and that's five, around, switch, twist, pull through, six. So we're going to do this 15 times. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, whoops, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so now I have a chain stitch. You can see it kind of looks braided. And when we go to the next row, you turn your item around. So we were working in this direction. Now we're going to move so that we're working in the opposite direction. We're going to go in the top of the previous stitch. We're going to do what's called a slip stitch. So a slip stitch, you're going to go into the stitch you just did, and you're going to twist that hook around the incoming yarn and pull it through the hole you just went through, and pulling it through the loop on your hook. And mine's a little tight. If you hold your yarn really tight, it's called tension. The tightness of the incoming yarn will dictate the tightness of the loops that you make in whatever garment you're making. So if you hold it loosely, you're going to have a nice loose weave. If you hold it tight, you're going to have a really tight weave. So that was one slip stitch. So we're going into the next one, twist and catch that yarn, pull it through the loop you just went through and the one on the hook, and go to the next one. In the hole, twist and pull through, and pull through the one on the hook. Into the next hole, twist and pull through the hole, and pull through the one on the hook. Very good. Keep going till you get to the end. Twist, pull through, and pull through again. In the beginning, it's a little bit harder to hold it because you don't have a lot to hold on to. Into the hole, into the next hole. Catch that incoming yarn with your hook by turning the hook down towards the table or the floor, pulling it through the hole and through the loop on the hook. And just keep going. This is again called the slip stitch. Into the next hole. Catch that yarn. We always go from behind, not from the front. We go from behind, and you want to twist that hook till it catches the yarn, pulls the yarn through the hole, and then pulls the yarn again through the loop on the hook. I pulled mine a little tight. There we go. Into the next hole, around, pull through that hole, pull through the loop on the hook. Into the next hole, around, pull through the hole, pull through the loop on the hook. We're almost to the end. Around, pull through the hole and pull through the loop on the hook. And last one, go in, around the hook, turning the hook down towards the table and pulling it through the hole that I just went in and through the loop. Okay, so now we have a chain stitch and a slip stitch on top of each other. So now we're going to do a single crochet. So before we turn this around, we're going to do one chain stitch. Remember the chain stitch, I'll pull it out. The chain stitch just goes around the hook, twist the hook towards the table or the floor. If you're working over table, that's fine, you don't have to, and pull it through that loop. That's a chain stitch. So we're just doing one, and then we're going to turn it around. You just turn the garment or whatever you're making so that the previously crocheted yarn is on the left side. I'm going to let out some more of my yarn, and we're going to do the single stitch. So now the single stitch is going to go into the last hole you just created, or the last loop, and we want to catch two pieces of yarn because it's going to hold better, it's going to be a lot stronger. And so we're going to go through the top two pieces of yarn. I don't know if you can see that. I have 2 pieces of yarn on there. Then I'm going to take the incoming yarn, go around the back just like we did before, twist the hook just like we did before, pull it through those 2 loops on the hook, and now you have 2 loops on the hook. So you're going to go around again, twist again, and pull through both those loops. Oops, there we go. Let's go into the next set of 2 pieces of yarn. You could do one, and some instructions will tell you to go through maybe the front or just the back, but usually if it doesn't say, it means to go through both. So I have 2 on my hook again. I'm going to bringing the yarn in from behind the hook, twisting the hook so it catches the yarn, pulling it through those 2 loops. Now I have 2 loops on my hook, going around, twisting, and pulling through those 2 loops. Let's do it again. Into 2, around, pull through those 2. Now I've got 2 on the hook, around, and pull through those 2. And you can see the stitch is coming together. So we're going to do it again. Through 2, around, pull through those 2, whoops, around, pull through 2, in, oh, I'm having trouble getting 2 pieces on, in, around and pull through, around and pull through. in, around and pull through, around and pull through. Whoop! Lost my yarn, fell on the floor. In, around and pull through, around and pull through. A homemade blanket, a homemade scarf or hat is always a delightful gift to give. It becomes oftentimes a family heirloom. I did not learn how to crochet till I was in my 40s. It was something that my grandmother did. She always made a blanket for every baby born in the house, in the family. She made a blanket for every couple that got married in our family. She made a blanket for college students going off to college in their school colors. And as my grandmother's ability to crochet and knit waned, I wanted to pick up that family tradition and do it for my family. So now we're at the end of our single crochet row, and the next one we're going to learn is called a half double. So first we have to do a single crochet, a chain stitch, and we're going to turn it around again. And then for the half double crochet, before you go into your first hole, you're going to go around the back, and you're going to poke that hook through the hole, and you go around the back again. So you've got 2 loops on the hook. Your garment or whatever you're making is also on the hook, and you have your yarn coming in from behind. You're going to turn your hooks down toward the table or floor just like we did before, pull through. Now you've got 3 loops on the hook. So for a half double crochet, you're going to loop around the back, twist your hook, and pull through all 3 of those loops in one shot. It's a little thicker, takes up a little bit more space, it will go a little faster, and gives your item a little more bulk. So we're going to go in the next, we're going to go around the back and then into the next hole, around the back, turn the hook down, pull through. 3 loops on your hook, around the back, turn your hook, pull through all 3 loops. Around the back, in the hole, around the back, turn the hook, pull through, around the back, pull through all 3 loops. Keep going, go around the back, in the hole, around the back, turn the hook, pull it through the garment, and then pull it through all 3 loops. Now, one of the things that I always say to children as I teach them to crochet is, when in doubt, pull it out. If you don't think it looks right, you can always pull it out. Just pull your loop, and it's going to take all those stitches out, go to where you think you messed up, and start again. Not that I messed up, I just wanted to show you. It's not tragic if you mess up. You can just pull it right out. So around the back, through the hole, around the back, pull through, got 3 loops on the hook, around the back, turn your hook down, pull it through the 3 loops, around the back, through the hole, around the back, through the hole, around the back, pull 3 loops. Good job. Around the back, through the hole, around the back, pull through the hole, around the back, pull through 3 loops. See, it's not hard, it's pretty easy. I have to say, a dear friend taught me how to crochet, and I had tried previously by looking at magazines or books, and I really couldn't get the hang of it until I stood over her and videotaped her hands moving. Now, everybody holds their yarn a different way, and that's okay. What works for me may not work for you. You may have to adjust it until you're comfortable with it, and it will take some time. My first few things that I made looked a little wonky. You'll start to get the hang of it the more you do it. And what I found is that I snack less when I'm watching a movie if I'm crocheting. It helps lower my blood pressure. I can't have an argument while I'm crocheting because then I get messed up. So now I'm at the end. Now I have my chain stitch and my slip stitch, my single crochet, my half double. Now we're going to do a double crochet. So because we're going to do a double, we're going to make 2 chain stitches at the end. Here we go. 1, 2. Now we're going to turn it around. So for the double crochet, it's very similar to the half double. We're going to go around the back just like we did for the half double, and we're going to go into the hole just like we did for the half double, and we're going to go around again and pull it through just like we did for the half double, and again we have 3 loops on our hook. Now with the half double, we go around back and pull through all 3. With a regular double crochet, you go around the back and you pull through 2, and now I have 2 on there, and you go around again and pull through 2. Okay, so let's try that again. Around, in, around, and pull through. I've got 3 loops on. Around, pull through 2, around, pull through 2, around and in, around and through, around through 2, around through 2, around and in, around, pull through, around through 2, around through 2. Keep going until you get to the end. Now I have to tell you, when I did learn to crochet, I was very confused at the beginning and couldn't remember how to turn around and start the next row. So that's why we're doing a video, because you can just go back and play it again. And when I couldn't remember how to get to the next row, I just kept making my chain stitch so I would not forget, because for me, I need that muscle memory so that I can keep going, otherwise I'll forget it. And I ended up having a chain stitch that was about 30 feet long. And a friend of mine asked what I was making. Was I making wall-to-wall carpeting? Ha ha ha. No, I was not making wall-to-wall carpeting, and I ended up pulling out more than 2/3 of that. But I did end up making a beautiful queen-size blanket, which my daughter still uses. And there we go. We're at the end of our double crochet. Okay? So now we're going to learn the triple crochet. Now with the triple crochet, we're going to make 3 chains. Remember the double we made 2. All the other ones we made 1, except for the slip stitch we didn't make any. So I did 3 chains, and I'm going to turn it around. Now the double we wound round 1 time before we went through the hole. The triple we're going to wind around twice. 1, 2. And we're going to go through the hole just like we did with the double. We're going to go around the back, pull it down, pull through. So now I have 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to go around and pull through, around and pull through 2. And now I have 3 on the hook. Around and pull through 2. And around and pull through 2. So I do it 3 times. That's why you get the triple crochet, or sometimes it's called treble crochet. So around twice, into the next hole. Remember, we're catching 2 pieces of that yarn as we go through, and then we're going to twist that yarn, twist the hook around the yarn. I've got 4 on my hook. Around, pull through 2, around, pull through 2, around, pull through 2. So now you have a wider space in between. Since this is just a dishcloth, for me, it doesn't really matter to me, you know, how fancy it looks. It's a dishcloth. But these, I just wanted to show you something simple that you could make at home to practice your stitches. You could get some beginner instructions. Many times Joann's has free instructions on different garments that you can make. Scarves are always a great way to get started. That's how my daughter got started. And they're, you know, it's just a rectangle. And you can alter it as you want and use different size hooks and different types of yarn. I always like a natural fabric. I'm not a big acrylic fan. But as we go along, just going to keep doing the triple crochet to the end. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish by doing each of the other stitches in the reverse order. So after I finish this triple, I'll go back with the double. Then I'll do a half double and a single and a slip stitch and I'll tie it off at the end. So that's basically your first few stitches for crochet. Once you learn how to do those, you can do just about anything else. I recommend getting a good book that shows you great pictures of how to do different stitches and to give you some cool ideas. Don't try and start something that's really hard. You want to make sure you're practiced before you start something that's either intermediate or hard, but they have lots of basic books and basic free instructions at Joann's. So this is just the start. It'll be about twice the size by the time I get it done. So happy crocheting, and I hope you'll tune in to Renaissance Mama again and watch one of our other videos. Thanks.